to the testimony in Sean Diddy Combs' racketeering and sex trafficking trial. Right now, the defense is cross-examining a male escort who just described in detail some of the multiple sexual encounters that he says he had with Combs and Combs' then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
The escort, under direct examination, testified Combs was always present during their encounters. He said that Combs often directed him and Ventura while watching them. He also told jurors he usually was given $1,200 or $2,000 in payments after each session, and he said Combs never appeared to be intoxicated when he was with him. We're joined now by criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Mark O'Mara. So, Mark, we just heard moments ago that under his cross-examination, this escort testified he didn't sense any discomfort from Cassie Ventura during their encounters. What is the significance of that?
Well, quite honestly, it does help play to the defense, because what the prosecution has to present, and they're starting out quite slowly, in my opinion, is getting to the sex trafficking, right? Getting to the control over people, whether it's the escorts, the sex workers, and of course, Cassie Ventura. And so far, they're doing a fair job at doing that, but I think they're leaving a lot of room for the defense to say maybe he's guilty of battery of Miss Ventura, maybe he's guilty of some bizarre behavior, but if they don't get to sex trafficking, they don't get their conviction.
So cross-examination of Hayes has wrapped. We'll see if there is now a redirect from the prosecution. I wonder what you make, Mark, of the detail that the escort testified that Combs never appeared to be intoxicated during his encounters, and he mentioned that multiple times that Combs was giving he and Ventura directions throughout their encounters. How key are those two things?
I think it's important because it is done by the prosecution to try and preempt the defense argument that Combs was wasted, right? He was intoxicated himself, not quite as responsible for his actions. We know there were some issues about opiate use in the past. So I think what the prosecution is trying to do is say, no, he knew exactly what he was doing. He was, in effect, the puppet master of everything that was happening around him. And I'm presuming over the next several weeks of the prosecution's presentation, they're going to start tying this together. This one sort of chapter that they've started, they probably need to move on from this and start tying together his control of other people as well.
Yeah, because he is facing charges of racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. And Mark, when you think of that and what you've heard so much, you said they need to, what we've heard so far, you said they need to tie that together. How exactly?
Well, you know, we use different examples. I use the example of building a house, right? You clear the land, you put down the footers, then you start building the walls. It is time for them to start building some of those walls to really get to the point of this control freak, if this is what they're going to say, was in charge of everything that they were doing, and really getting to the idea of racketeering, because the essence of their charge of racketeering is he was planning all this. He was orchestrating all of it. And while we have it with Miss Ventura, a little bit maybe with the sex worker, we don't have that true criminal intent yet, and they need to get to it. They want this jury to say he is a sex trafficker, and I'm presuming the prosecution is starting out slow, but like I said, it is time to start putting some of those puzzle pieces down so that we know what the picture is they're trying to present.
What about the details coming from the assistant, Mark, that claims that they helped orchestrate these freak-offs and that when they paid for things up front, they were reimbursed by Bad Boy Records, Combs' record label? Does that get the prosecution closer to racketeering?
It helps. It's a couple of those footers putting down, right? It's a little bit more of those bricks being laid to show what's going on, that the business that he owns is involved, that he is doing it, that he's orchestrating everything, that when they're reimbursed, he's the one paying the money, maybe through a third party, that he is, again, sort of orchestrating everything, and that this is sort of one plan, and that he's the spearhead of it. And that's what they really have to start focusing on.
We'll see if they start making more of that turn. Mark O'Mara, thank you so much for being with us.
Great to be here. Good seeing you guys again.
And still to come, a